Hey guys, welcome to another lunchtime review. Today I'm going to try this Maple Street Biscuit Company. They have I've never been here before, and I'll talk a little bit about when I come back out, but you have to go inside and order. So I'm going to run in, and that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so these are pretty big containers, so I'm going to videotape them and just show them separately as I'm going. So again, this is Maple Street Biscuits. This particular one is the 5 and dime chicken biscuit. It is fried chicken, bacon, cheddar, eggs, and then you can either get spicy sausage or shiitake gravy, which is mushroom gravy. I went ahead and got the spicy sausage because I don't think it's going to be too bad, and she said it comes on the side, so that's good. I'm glad it came on the side because that would have been messy on there. And I just got a fried egg on mine. I made sure it wasn't runny. I can tell you the price. Well, I'll tell you the price at the end when I get done. So I'm gonna try this first. All right, so I'm gonna try the biscuit, like I said, first. And since the gravy is separate, I'm gonna try the biscuit by itself first. Let me just say, it's a lot thicker than you would think it was just looking at it from the back. Look, this is half the size of my head. That thing's huge. I'm glad they didn't put the gravy on it though, because that would have been really messy, I think. I don't know how I'm gonna eat this thing. I mean, I got a big mouth, but daggone. That's really good. I can tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this top. Ooh, that's got some spice to it. I was going to take the top biscuit off, but I want to try some of this chicken now by itself because I think there's some spice in there. That's really good. I don't know how I'm going to get the gravy on there though. They give you quite a bit of gravy too. I could honestly have I could have gotten a whole other biscuit. I just had the gravy, the amount of gravy they give you with the biscuit. It's quite a bit. Let me just stick it right here. And this is gonna make a mess, but not bad. That gravy is good. It's just a really nice sausage gravy. It is spicy though. I asked how spicy the gravy was before I ordered it, and they said they could give me a little cup if I wanted to try it out. I said no, go ahead and give me the spicy because I would probably like it better than the sausage gravy, better than the mushroom gravy anyway. So I said go ahead and give it. But it's nice that they offered me the option of trying it before I got it. That's good because some places wouldn't do that. That is really good. And honestly, like I said, if you wanted to, you could order the biscuit with the gravy, get the gravy on the side and order you an extra biscuit, and you could have this sandwich and the gravy two separate ways. You could have the biscuit and gravy, and then you could have this and not have to pay for a full biscuit sandwich and another whole biscuits and gravy, because it's a lot of food. It really is. I'm going to tell you how many calories it is in just a second, but it's yeah, it's good. I like it though, and I do like it with the gravy. It's just really hard to, I mean, you really have to kind of just pile your gravy on top and then take a bite. There's nothing wrong with that biscuits and gravy, honestly. The biscuit doesn't have quite the flaky, like really greasy kind of layers that like Hardee's does, but it's more of a dense biscuit, but it's got a really good flavor to it. I really do like the gravy. And you get a ton. I mean, I'm just really impressed with how much gravy you get. So that's really, really good. Like I said, I was going to tell you how many calories it is. You don't want to know. 1,399 calories. That's just for the biscuit. I'm assuming that's with the gravy as well. So once you add all that gravy and stuff, it's really going to add up as far as the calories go. But the chicken's really good and crispy. You get the bacon flavor. You get, I don't really get the egg flavor. I'm sure it adds some to the flavor, but I don't really taste it because by the time you get kind of that spicy gravy, the little bit of spice on the chicken too, and the chicken's really good and crispy, and the bacon and stuff, the egg's kind of a minor thing. So if you wanted to be, if I was sitting in the restaurant, I probably would have got an egg that was a little runnier than this. Instead of a hard fried, I would have gotten something with a little run to it. And I would have probably taken the top off the biscuit and just eaten it with the gravy by itself. But since I'm sitting in the car, it's a lot harder to do. So anyway, we'll move on to the next. I'll show you the next two items at one time. It's just too big to have it all in one place. All right, so here's the next two items. These are the fried green tomatoes, which are crispy fried green tomatoes served with ranch dipping sauces, and you get 4. That's what you look. That's the standard order. I mean, that is the only order. And then these are the smash browns. They're crispy potatoes and green onion hash browns. They either had a 2 or a 4. I got the 2, and that's it. I can tell you all the prices now that I've showed you everything. The biscuits with the gravy, the 5 and dime, it was $12.99. The fried green tomatoes with ranch dressing was $5.49, and the 2 smash browns were $2.79. So my total was $21.27 plus whatever tax and things like that you want. So yeah, so I'm gonna try these now. They look really good. Well, this is different than what you were expecting when I came back. That's the problem with recording with your phone. Sometimes you double tap the record, and I thought I was recording. Didn't record any of me trying the fried green tomatoes or the smash browns, but I can talk about them. I can talk about tell you everything I thought about them right now and give you an overall rating for everything because I remember all that stuff. So the fried green tomatoes were really good. They were thinly cut, so they weren't super thin, but they were thin enough to where they weren't like, sometimes you get a really thick potato. I mean, sometimes they'll cut those tomatoes like this thick, and you're just like eating a raw tomato, and it's not very good. These are fairly thin. They were cooked really, really well, so they were good and tender without being mushy. They weren't mushy. The breading on the outside was a batter, not a breading. It was a batter more like you would batter, fish or something like that. It wasn't. So like when we make them at home, we do a cornmeal, and the cornmeal gives them a really good crunchy, kind of that gritty cornmeal texture on the outside. These were not like that. These were battered like I said, like fish. So the texture was good. I like them better in the cornmeal breading than I do the batter, but the batter was fine. It was good and crunchy. It was really fresh. It wasn't soggy or greasy or anything like that. They had a good texture. So texture-wise, everything was fine. The flavor, the batter really didn't have any flavor beyond just flour. They didn't add anything extra in there. And the green tomatoes weren't quite green enough for me. So a green tomato will give you a little bit of a tart, kind of tangy kind of flavor. You taste that green tomato flavor. These really didn't have that. It was more of a, it was really lacking in flavor. That's my problem with the green tomatoes. The green tomatoes, the tomatoes themselves were lacking a little bit in flavor. Now that could have just been the ones I had. If you get them at your restaurant, they may have a little bit more of that green tomato flavor. Mine were just a little lacking in flavor. So that's really the only comments I had about the tomatoes. They were good. The ranch dressing was good. The bad thing is when you eat it with the ranch, that's all you taste. You don't taste anything else. You get the crunch and the ranch. So I would rather have the fried green tomatoes just by themselves if they'd had a really good green tomato flavor. So I actually gave the tomatoes a 4 out of 5. They're good. They're just not as good as I was hoping they would be. The biscuits and the gravy, I gave a 4.5 because I really do like them quite a bit. They were really good. And I'm glad they put the gravy on the side because it would have been a pain to try to eat that together. The smash browns. The smash browns are really good. You'd have to kind of like a mushier texture. So they were almost like a mashed potato in the middle. They're really, really soft. And then you get the little pieces of shredded potato in there. And then they were brown really, really nice on the outside. So the outside was really good and crispy and brown. But the inside, and if you like that creamy texture, which I do, I like a softer texture. I like mashed potatoes. But like for example, Tammy does not like that mashed potato texture. So she would not have liked these. But I did. So I gave them a 4.5 out of 5. They're all just potato. It said something like green onion and stuff. I didn't get any onion flavor at all. It was all just potato. And then when you dip them in the in that dip, that's all you tasted was the dip. The potato flavor is gone, everything. So again, if you want the potato flavor, just eat those by themselves. If you want to taste that like ranch dip, then eat that. Dip it in there and you'll get mostly that. Textures were good though. They were good and crispy on the outside and all really good and hot. So the biscuit and the smashed browns were 4.5. The fried green tomatoes were 4. Although if I'd gotten another batch and they'd had that really nice green flavor, I may have given them a 4.5 as well, because I did like everything about them. They just didn't have enough flavor for me. One thing I thought was interesting was before we went, we looked up the restaurant, and they're in a bunch of different states. They're in a bunch of Ohio, and I don't remember where else. They were all over the place, and mostly on the east. What's funny about it is they originally started in Florida, and was it Jacksonville, Florida? I think it may have been Jacksonville. I don't know, somewhere in Florida. And what's interesting is they've opened all these locations. Cracker Barrel bought them, so Cracker Barrel actually owns the Maple Street Bakery. So I thought that was interesting, is the Cracker Barrel now owns this place. It's a part of Cracker Barrel. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry, I just didn't record the last part of it. It was just me picking up tomatoes and hash browns and eating them anyway. But at least I could wrap it up for you. I remembered it very, very well. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you next time.